Imagine finding a modern smartphone inside the tomb of a pharaoh, or a jet engine in an ancient Roman villa. It sounds like science fiction, doesn't it? But in 1901, at the bottom of the Aegean Sea, archaeologists found something even more impossible. A device so advanced, so mathematically precise, that it shouldn't have existed for another 1,500 years. This is the Antikythera Mechanism, the computer that time forgot. Our story begins with a storm. In 1900, Greek sponge divers were forced to take shelter near the tiny island of Antikythera. When the weather cleared, they dove into the depths, hoping for sponges. Instead, they found a graveyard of giants. Marble statues, bronze figures, and treasures from a 1st century BC shipwreck. But among the gold and art, there was a green, calcified lump that no one cared about. It sat in a museum basement for months, drying and cracking, until one day it split open to reveal the impossible: bronze gears. For decades, historians dismissed it. They said the Greeks couldn't make gears this small or complex. But as technology caught up, the truth emerged. Using X-ray and CT scans, researchers looked inside the corrosion. They didn't find just a few wheels. They found a sophisticated network of over 30 hand-cut bronze gears. This wasn't a clock. It was a simulator, a device that could track the movements of the sun, the phases of the moon, and the positions of the 5 known planets with terrifying accuracy. The mechanism was a masterclass in astronomy. It used a pin and slot mechanism to account for the moon's elliptical orbit, a concept that wouldn't be mathematically proven for centuries. It predicted solar and lunar eclipses down to the hour. On the back, it even featured a dial that tracked the 4-year cycle of the ancient Olympic Games. It was a GPS, a calendar, and a celestial computer all in one portable bronze box. Who could have built such a thing? Here is the question that keeps historians awake at night. If the Greeks had this technology in 100 BC, why did it disappear? If this lineage of engineering hadn't been lost to the bottom of the sea, where would humanity be today? Would we have reached the moon by the year 1000? Was the Industrial Revolution delayed by 2,000 years because this knowledge was forgotten? The trail leads to the island of Rhodes, a center for Greek astronomy. Some point to Hipparchus, the father of trigonometry. Others whisper a more legendary name: Archimedes. Roman records mention planetaria built by Archimedes that showed the sun and moon moving through the zodiac. Could the Antikythera be a surviving masterpiece from his workshop? The precision of the gear teeth suggests a tradition of craftsmanship that must have taken generations to perfect. For 20 years, one man, Michael Wright, a curator at the London Science Museum, became obsessed. He didn't just look at the machine. He lived inside its gears. Using a technique called linear tomography, he built his own X-ray machine to see the internal layers. What he found was a labyrinth of bronze. He discovered that the mechanism didn't just track the sun and moon, but all 5 planets known to the Greeks: Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. Each planet had its own complex gear train to account for retrograde motion, the moment a planet appears to move backward in the sky. This was a mechanical manifestation of the entire cosmos in the palm of a hand. On the lower back dial, there is a spiral called the Exeligmos. This was the machine's future seer. It tracked an 18-year cycle of eclipses. But it went further. It didn't just say an eclipse was coming. It predicted the exact hour, the direction the shadow would move across the earth, and even the color the moon would turn. To achieve this, the Greeks used a 223-month lunar calendar. The precision required to cut these gears by hand, some with teeth only a millimeter long, is a level of craftsmanship that defies everything we thought we knew about the ancient world. One of the most debated questions is, who was this for? Was it a luxury toy for a rich merchant? Or was it a public monument? The inscriptions are small, designed to be read at close range, suggesting a personal, portable device. However, its complexity implies a high cost. It suggests a society where science and engineering were not just hobbies, but a sophisticated industry. If one Antikythera mechanism existed, there must have been hundreds. Where are they? Why is this the only one that survived the wreckage of time? The loss of the Antikythera technology is one of the greatest tragedies in human history. When Rome rose and Greece faded, the focus shifted from pure science to practical conquest. The delicate art of gear-making died out. The knowledge was buried, literally, in the mud of shipwrecks and the ruins of burnt libraries. By the time of the Middle Ages, the most advanced machines in the world were simple water wheels. We were living in a world of ghosts, walking over the buried remains of a digital age that happened 2,000 years too early. In the 21st century, the battle to understand the mechanism moved from the X-ray lab to the digital world. Scientists at University College London used computer modeling to reconstruct the missing pieces. They realized that the front of the device was a spectacular display of the Greek cosmos. Using 3D printing, they recreated the device. For the first time in 2 millennia, the gears began to turn again. The sound of the bronze teeth clicking together was the sound of a lost civilization waking up. Today, the Antikythera mechanism stands as a reminder of human brilliance and how easily we can lose everything we have achieved.